Am I the a-hole for having my sister-in-law and her 2 kids escorted away by security because she refused to RSVP? Last week was our daughter's 16th birthday. We decided to go all out on her party for a variety of reasons. This would include a private tour of a place she's wanted to go to, and we rented out a room to have a catered dinner. This should all have been just a smooth ride, right? Enter my sister-in-law. My wife and her sister do not get along. They can keep up a causal relationship for the sake of family, but that's it. It doesn't help that my experiences with my sister-in-law have been incredibly dramatic. She's quick to play the victim and gaslight. Sister-in-law has 2 daughters who are practically best friends with my daughter. So obviously she wanted to invite them. One big issue with sister-in-law and her family is that when it comes to coordinating anything with them, they are unreliable on a good day and like trying to communicate with a blind deaf person who does not speak the same language as you on a bad one. They are never on time, sometimes hours, or in one case a day, late, and will not communicate at all if they are planning to show up. The thing I hate the most is that she will just text you randomly after an event started saying they decided not to come, or show up when they said they can't make it. Because my wife does not get along with her, I told her I would handle it. I sent 2 emails and 3 texts and had a 20-minute phone call with sister-in-law months ago telling her what we were doing for my daughter's birthday. Because of what we were planning, we needed to buy tickets for everyone and tell the caterers how many they were serving. I needed an RSVP as soon as humanly possible to organize this stuff. She either needed to be on time or tell me she could not make it. I told her if she ghosts me, there will be no tickets for her and her kids. She ghosted me. I didn't buy her and her kids tickets. Sister-in-law and her kids showed up, on time somehow, for the event. My wife was livid, so I handled the situation on my own and told my sister-in-law and her kids they need to leave because we did not get tickets for her. If she wanted to join us for the tour, it would cost quite a bit to get new tickets, and the caterers do not allow alterations after a certain amount of time out from the event. At first, she tried to say she did RSVP with me, and then eventually started to shame me. Our guide called security, and, in the end, she and her daughters were escorted away. The event was great, but my sister-in-law's entire family has blown up at me and my wife. The event was 2 hours away from sister-in-law's home, and they say it was heartless of me to turn her away after the trip. Along with this, her daughters have now stopped talking to my daughter, telling her that I kicked them out of her party. I explained to my daughter the situation, and she called me AD. My wife has told me to ignore her family, and that daughter will realize we're not in the wrong. Now let's read some of the comments. This person writes, "Not the a-hole. You sent out emails, texts, and had a discussion over the phone about the RSVP. Sister-in-law is the a-hole, and so is the rest of the family that are her side." Another person writes, "I suspect the rest of the family is getting a doctored version. We told all invitees that we needed them to RSVP so we could reserve tickets for them. The venue won't allow people without tickets. I made this very clear to sister-in-law who did not RSVP. I find it incredibly cruel and cold-hearted that anyone would expect me to cancel my child's birthday because a grown woman couldn't be bothered to take 2 seconds to RSVP, which is what would have had to happen to accommodate sister-in-law. I decided we should look at this comment because of the difference in opinion. Let's read. If OP's goal was to throw a party and humiliate his sister-in-law, then his actions were fine. But the point of this party was to celebrate his daughter. His daughter is besties with the cousins. She wanted the cousins there. And instead of having her cousins at her party, she saw them turned away for something that wasn't even their fault. She isn't a child. All she had to do was send a text saying, "Hey, you coming to my party?" and then relay their answer back to her dad. But she didn't even know that her best friends wouldn't be able to participate in the party due to the RSVP issue, because at no point did her father warn her of this ahead of time. You know, back before the RSVPs were due, when all this drama could actually be avoided. Extremely simple fix, but OP decided this mess was somehow a better outcome. Clearly his daughter doesn't agree. And if I were in her shoes, I'd be pissed my dad didn't warn me my best friend cousins weren't able to go to my birthday party too, especially if I could have fixed the issue a month ago. And now for my thoughts. Your sister-in-law seems to be one of those people that do not believe that the rules should apply to them, and this belief has been enabled by the people around her. You invited her via 3 modes of communication, 2 emails, a 20-minute phone call, and a text. And she still decided to ghost you, hoping that once again there would not be any consequences, because this is normal. Like you said, sister-in-law and her family are never on time. Sometimes they are hours, or in one case days, late, and will not communicate at all if they are planning to show up. They'll text randomly after an event has started saying they decided not to come, or show up when they said they can't make it. Honestly, it should not be that difficult for someone to respond to an RSVP. Your sister-in-law is unreliable. I am glad you have set some boundaries by allowing SIL to deal with the consequences of her action. I feel bad for her daughters who have suffered from her action. Your daughter would come around. She just wanted her friends at her event. In my opinion, you are not the a-hole. But it seems your daughter was not aware of the fact that her cousins would not be attending her birthday. Maybe next time be more open with your child. OP responded to someone in the comment that asked if sister-in-law was lying when she said she tried to RSVP, and why OP's daughter did not tell her cousins to have their mom RSVP. Let's read. She had at least a month from the phone call where I invited her to the last text asking for some status. She never gave me a proper answer. Mostly I'll check our schedules and let you know. The last text I sent her was never responded to. Her daughter undoubtedly knew their mom would need to RSVP, but the problem is they are just like their mom. They will just ghost my daughter the same way their mom does others. So, we've come to the end. Was OP an a-hole or not? Please like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.